Damn. It randomly hit a song that, like, technically fits. Anyways, hello Maverick, hello Jadowski. Oh god. There we go. Get rid of my cough. I still haven't gone out and getting like cough drops or anything like that. Nope. No cough drops. Oh yeah. I kind of forgotten that, like, oh hey, because they've removed armor restrictions. I probably need to like redo this one. I was like, hey, I remember this set. It's right there. I'm going to put on this armor for Reaper. But I guess we're waiting for these 26. Okay. Decline bounty. Okay, so since last time, there's only one thing that I've done. I have not done any of the fucking the things that they won't, that I said I was going to do. I have not actually done any of the raids. I didn't record them. What I ended up doing instead is buying a bunch of 770 gear from the auction house and not even materia slotting it. Yay. But hey, I will have if we have time, we'll go and try to do Archidon, and I'll just like do 2 different things and it'll be fine. It'll be great. It'll be wonderful. What's up, Cryle? I trust you were able to get plenty of rest. Good. I thought we might take a moment to ponder our next steps and perhaps reflect on our recent journey. It happened a week ago. I must admit that my thoughts often drift to Mist Continent and I stay in Trino. It was heartening to see the Milala people prosper despite the odds, and my own flesh and blood strive to live in racked lands. The team was eager to restore diplomatic relations, and I have no doubt that Alexandria will provide much needed support for their neighbor. Damn. I too shall do everything I can to end my home away from home, my wonderful, welcoming family included. For the time being, though, I'd say we accomplish all within our power. I suppose that just leaves the matter of preservation's research. It is yet unclear how Calyx learned the techniques he used to summon his Dark Primal. And there's still likewise much that remains unknown about the key. Let us hope that Shale's efforts bear more fruit. After I was... Oh, wait. Can you hear me? Shale and I have reviewed the files and have covered some intriguing details. Would you care to join us? Be on your way. Excellent. Shale seems rather eager to speak with you. Come and find us in the Detra lab when you're ready. Oh, God. Uncanny timing. I want to change the gloves off of this. So I'm not sure if I'm going to comment too much about Evercoal. Because, you know...
The PlayStation 4 will be sunsetted soon, which anyone that plays Final Fantasy XIV through there are screwed and have to upgrade to PS5. Ha 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 ha. Ha. That sucks. Like...
I mean...
Ow.
That was going to happen no matter what. I mean, they had to sunset the PS3 and... But here's the thing. They don't have to upgrade to the PS5. They just have to either move on to the PC or an Xbox or the Switch 2. Because I moved from like the fucking like PC to PS5 just because it was easier to do streams with the PS5. Oh yeah, it's like Yeah, like the account stays. Like all you just have to do, it's like at worst, oh no, you have to buy a $20 like base game. And then just the expansion. Like, okay, wait, how much is like 14 now? Like, it will be a little bit more if you do have to make the switch. Okay, yeah, let's see. Starter edition is $20. Wait, there's also a 50% off. Wait, hold on. Yeah, yeah. Starter edition is $20. It's on sale right now for $10. You can buy both this and the starter edition and Dawntrail. Normally $60, is right now $30. But what you would do, so you would either A, assuming 4.0, you just buy like the $10 version on PC, and then if you're still playing on PS4, you play the PS4 version, but then you buy Evercold when that goes on sale, and then you're right there. Easy. Look, I solved the problem. Or you wait till if you just want the entire complete edition, then yeah, but like at worst I would sit back and say if the game right now is $10 anyways on like either PC or PlayStation, or sorry, Xbox, or any other thing that you own, then you know, get that version. I'm assuming that the only people who are still playing on PS4 right this second, if I was to hazard a guess, might be Japanese people. So it's either having them move to PC or having them move to the Switch too. Oh.
Ah, you're just in time for a progress report. The decryption is finally complete. As we suspected, the data represents a partial record of Preservation's research documents. A quick scan of the files, however, failed to turn up the information Y'shtola was after.
Indeed. No mention of the Ascians, or primal summoning techniques for that matter. While Calyx doubtless received instruction from someone possessed of such knowledge, there was naught to identify this benevolent mentor. I am, however, pleased to say that we found several reports concerning the key.
We know the key is used to open paths between worlds, and was a treasured relic of the Milala. And just as the Milala were unable to return after reaching the Mist Continent, so too was Preservation unable to gain a mastery of the prize which had passed into their possession. The data suggests that a particular formula or procedure is required.
Oh, new and tasty.
A process which Calyx appears to have understood to some degree. Yet the key proved fickle. Perfectly replicating conditions was no guarantee of success. And even when they did manage to generate a modest portal, the destination was never the one they expected. Reports practically screamed their frustration, describing the experience as being dragged around by a traveler picking roads without rhyme or reason. Serves them right, I say.
After much trial and error, Preservation began to experiment with external actuation devices for the key. Striving to maintain a stable pathway to a chosen location, they conceived of the technology that forms the gate to the Golden City.
So, their tribulations ultimately afforded them control of the key, albeit in a limited capacity, which, of course, explains why they were able to instruct Zoralja in its use, thus enabling the unprecedented feat of transferring Everkeep and its environs to the Source. After the Endless Fiend took the key unto herself, she opened pathways to other reflections in her hunt for ether, did she not?
The Milala merely used it to facilitate their exodus. To think what the key has now wrought in different hands.
For all we know, the actuation device augmented the key's power beyond its intended scope. Were your goal to plunder whole worlds of their ether, a tool designed to simply transfer
exposing
people would
your
likely be
environment,
insufficient.
Zever, scandalous.
Shale, I don't suppose you would be able to remove the actuation device?
The machine made for that very purpose is still functional, thankfully. It shouldn't be a problem.
What do you think? We don't even know how the key works. If the device is somehow interfering or amplifying its capabilities, I believe we ought to remove it.
Go ahead.
Give me a moment.
What do you see, Stola, with your special eyes?
My word.
Ishtola?
This is the first time I've beheld the key in all its unobscured glory. The sheer density is extraordinary. 'Tis akin to the structures we saw beneath the Tempest.
Now that you mention it, the ornamentation is reminiscent of Amarot.
Have you noticed anything since the key has been in your possession?
Nope. Not that I remember, but it's been months. It reminds me of Azim's crystal.
You're suggesting the key has some connection with Azim. A plausible theory, although one we are yet unequipped to prove.
My apologies. Hello? Yes, this is Cryle speaking. That was Ojika with a message for us.
An urgent matter?
I'm not altogether sure. Tataru requires our counsel, and hoped to call upon us in person at the Baldessian Annex. Though disappointed we were not present, she appeared content to wait until our travels brought us back to Sharlayan, insisting that it did not merit our immediate summons. Her tone suggested otherwise, however, and Ojika felt compelled to contact us directly.
Mayhap the time has come for another journey across the Sot.
You'd best go. Though I'll not deny that I'll be sad
Oh my
to see you
god, the
leave.
fucking particle effects from the armor. Maybe I should change that. Let's learn if the
Shale.
Lala F no state.
I
Oh
can't
no.
even
Hello,
begin
Dora.
to thank you for all you've done. We will be forever indebted to you and your Oblivion colleagues.
The debt is ours. We'll never forget the sacrifices you've made for us, for Alexandria. In the meantime, I shall keep sifting through the data. You'll hear as soon as I find anything of note.
You know, I kind of wonder
Actually, I
why
should
they
like to
never
stay here a
dispelled the
little
barrier
longer, if you don't
around
mind.
Alexandria.
You are most welcome.
And might I borrow the key for a while? I wish to study it further. With the utmost care, I
She wants to
assure
look at it with her special eyes.
Well then, shall we be off?
I
Ojika
might
will be
actually just do a
expecting us.
little bit of housekeeping with the armor. Baldessian Annex. Sure. Wait. Old Charlian. Trying to remember which one it was. Gets out of Lala, done with Graha a lot. Watching him walk off a crowd like it should be me. Oh, it's this way. Ah. I could have just used this. Oh well. Actually, before we do any of that, before I do that, I want to, you know. Wait, I need to. Never mind. Welcome back. My pleasure to have to see you. We came as soon as we could. Of course, I felt prudent given how troubled Tataru was. Your concern is appreciated, as it appears we've reached a convenient juncture in our investigation. She only just told have matters well in hand. That's a relief. Now let me fetch Tataru for you. Moment in the main hall. Wait, okay, but like, can I now go into, wasn't this the bedroom with Dawntrail, or not Dawntrail, No, you know what? Because this is just gonna ruin things. I know where the one is in Turiel, lol. I know where it is in Turiel, lol. I will go there. Oh my god. Fucking bots. Bum, 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 bum. No, I don't want that. This. Add a glamour plate. Okay, we have Reaper here. Yeah, do that. The leggings are kind of... that's not really important. That would be good with dye. Wait, what if I grab some Dark Knight type? Hmm. Yeah, it looks good for now. I just kind of wish I had like a better weapon. Where's right here? Because I only have that in my storage. Let me see if I got... Yeah, I can only put these in my fucking armoire. I think I have... Ask Glamour. Which one's the Vendetta? Yeah, you know what? This one worked. All right. Transmog complete. Teleport. Okay, back to old Charlian. Back to old Charlian. You know, I just kind of realized recently I've never put my fucking Warrior of Light in Tomodachi Life. I should probably do that. Like at some point, because I put more characters in. I just keep doing that between streams. Which is probably why, like, there's hardly any couples in my game.
Journey.
Oh no, just reminiscing. Thinking back to when you bought this map, and how you all encouraged me to make the voyage to Tural.
Are you glad you did?
As if you need ask.
Welcome back.
Hello, Tatu. It's wonderful to see you again.
I'm so glad you're here.
Ojika contacted us. He intimated that you were rather concerned. Come to think of it, Alphino said he and Alize would pay you a visit upon their return. Have you not seen them?
Oh no, they were here. I was regaled with many a tale of your Turali adventures. It was only once they departed for Garlemord that the rumors came to my attention. Rather alarmingly, void-sent sightings seem to be on the rise across the star. I was reluctant to bother you with mere hearsay, especially when you had more pressing matters to contend with. But earlier I received a confidential report from the Grand Company of Eorzea. It's as if a mighty dam has been breached, flooding the land with foul creatures. For a blessing, most nations have managed to keep the invaders in check, and casualties appear to be minimal thus far. Though the same cannot be said for those regions with a deeper connection to the void. Their fissures continue to manifest without end, putting countless innocents in danger.
A deeper connection to the void. Garlemald is the home of the Reapers, is it not?
Hey, the class that I am.
It is. Alphino and Alize were there when the trouble began, and have since sent word that the situation has taken a dreadful turn.
A short while earlier in Terratum.
Thus concludes the abridged account of our time in Tural. Now I shall leave you with the words of the late Dawn servant, Galul Jajar.
Oh, shut up.
Ignorance begets strife. Understanding begets fellowship. A notion that rings true for Eorzeans no less than it does for the diverse peoples of Tuliolol.
And for Garleans as well. Even sharing something as simple as a local dish can pave avenues of understanding. It's up to all of us to forge new bonds, together.
And then the Void Scent attack. So I'm just gonna like kind of predict the story right this second. The reason why the Void Scent are happening is because the 13th is collapsing.
Thank you for sharing your tale.
I'm kind of using what I learned from the FanFest keynote
Clumsy retelling.
to kind of predict
Your
what's
words give me
happening.
hope that we might achieve something similar here in Garlemald.
We all have the capacity to affect change. Our time in Tural taught us that much. And
Did it
now that we've
though? I mean, I
returned,
feel like
it's
a lot
time
of
we
other
rolled up
places
our
taught you
sleeves
that.
and got back to work.
I've already sent missives to the other nations, informing them of our Alexandrian friends. I also intend to notify the Garlean community officially. If both sides are amenable to the proposition, we shall gladly assist in establishing diplomatic relations with Alexandria and Tuliolol.
Thank you. But are you sure you've recovered from your journey? It sounded like you've hardly had time to catch your breath.
Sir! Lapis Manalis is overrun with void scent. We've sustained heavy civilian casualties.
What?
Clutium Squadron reporting in. We're under attack.
The clip. You need to go to the
Void
clip.
out of nowhere and ambushed us during a routine inspection. Damn it! Is that another Fisher? No, no, no! Ah!
My comrades are under attack. We have to do something.
There's no time to lose. Come on!
The Garlean community is ill-equipped to defend themselves against such a threat. Even with the aid of the twins and the Ilzabard contingent, they face daunting odds.
We shall leave for Garlemald immediately.
Thank you. I was able to contact Thancred and Urianger too. They're already on their way. With any luck, you'll be able to rendezvous with them on arrival.
Yeah, I'm just predicting the story. How I think it's going to happen. We're going to find out that the 13th is kind of collapsing into the source, and this is going to happen to all the other reflections, because like instead of like having the Asians actually do it one at a time and within a certain, you know, pace, and because Heidelin is not there anymore, everything's just might destroy the fucking world. It'll just keep on it will just happen one after the other until all life is fucked. And just like that, we find ourselves facing an emergency. Fortunately, this time yet to make a difference. Let us head for the Territorium. Which I'm wondering, like, why we have to go to the 4th outside of, like, we have to, like, solve problems in such a way where, like, maybe we have to solve problems in such a way where it's like, oh, you know, like the world, this, the reflections, like, collapse, you know, better, where it won't like hit cause massive catastrophe, life-ending shit.
You picked a frosty spot for a reunion.
Tataru sent word that you were coming. Full glad am I to see you all. Though I'm afraid this is no time for pleasantries. Planar fissures have opened up across Garlemald, inundating the region with void scent. As far as we can ascertain, there are 2 focal points of their assault. The Ilzabard contingent are combating the threat in Lapis Manalis. Although they have suffered casualties, they appear to have the upper hand.
Goodness.
As well they should.
Come on, pretend Undoing Sundering was still going to continue and the players of the game. No, they were done with that story. No, I mean, that means nothing. It's like...
Which leaves the second focal point.
Yeah, like even I can like go like, oh hey, they might do this.
But are struggling to cope with the sheer number of void scent.
My interpretation was probably, hey, we're going to go to other realms to see how the Ascians fuck with them. And we kind of partially did with the 9th. I was kind of hoping, we're kind of doing that with the 4th, so...
The wounded returning from battle.
But now it's being like, oh, hey, what happens when you have these 2 beings that were kind of keeping the world in stasis gone?
Once we arrive, we can support the Garlean forces as we make for the fissure in the munitions factory.
Island's not there anymore. Half the sources, half the worlds were kind of on track to do things. Kind of like the like a train getting derailed. Oh. Alrighty then, I guess we're just heading in. Other players. Gotta remember. Okay, yeah, less than 5 minutes. Once again, I am not doing Hankin. I did look at a little bit of the new battle system, and it does seem like a lot of consolidation. Like having, instead of doing 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 1, and then other things, and then like with the tank, it seems like everybody's going to have like something that might require like a press. Like, oh hey, if you do Shelton at the right time, you you get to do like a funny little parry and attacks become better. I'm like, oh, that's nice. But it's really a system depending upon like, I just hope that it doesn't feel as barren as all of the Viper stuff does. Though my fear is in like 2 expansions, you're just going to end up like having the rebirthed style be the main style. Because they're just going to start adding abilities via the rebirth style. Like, I could see them doing that. Like, period. Being like, okay. That I don't really have much to really say about like what they showed. I'm really cautious about their weird little, oh hey, we're getting rid of tomes and now we have this other thing that you're going to be doing. Because that one sounds almost like gear might not matter. And I'm kind of being very cautious about how they were saying that. It's like, oh yeah, you might only have to, you know, gear will reflect your highest item level. Which kind of makes it feel like, well, does that mean like you don't have the treadmill anymore? That you're not doing the gear treadmill? You kind of need the treadmill. I hate to say it, you kind of need a treadmill. Especially in a game where you have where older content kind of needs to be done. You'll hold on. How do I put this? The strength of this game is that no matter what content you're doing, you always end up having someone doing said content, right? Like, if you're going to do, let's say, the Nier Automata Alliance raids, people are going to be doing the Nier Automata Alliance raids just because of...
Appreciate the help.
We'll be doing those raids because you go into the daily roulette,
We'll
right?
handle things from here. Take care of the Fisher.
But when it becomes like a weekly thing, and depending upon how they decide to balance it, I feel like you're not going to have as many people running certain things. Because people are going to min-max. Like, number one, people are 100% going to fucking min-max. Yeah. Huh? Oh. And once they figure out what the best path is through their funny min-max, that's when they're going to be like, I'm not even sure what that is. Wait, am I supposed to stand still with that one? But no, when people figure out the min-max like thing, it's just going to be you know, if that means like that fucking alliance raids go by the wayside, alliance raids will go by the wayside. Oh, I'm scanning for moving targets. Okay. All right, I wasn't paying attention. Wait, oh, the auto attack. Okay, fuck me. I need the auto attack. Fuck me. I'm stupid. Whoops. That time I did it. But still, I'm just a little bit more worried about like you watch, you look at that example that they did, and it's like, oh hey, one of the examples is do one main story quest, one MSQ. I'm like, that was probably like the worst example that you could do for like, oh, like what you want for that kind of system, because wouldn't it mean like the way to make sure that you get capped weekly is for people to not consume, like, I don't know, the main content that like people consume within like 4 hours, like within, you know, launch? Like, given patches, like even like a seasonal cycle for patches, it, you know, it would be kind of stupid to have MSQ as like one of the do this for a weekly for your weekly points. I hope they don't look into making your gear, you max out depending on leveling your gear. That's the issue of whether or not it's going to be like that. Is you need that treadmill. You need the gear treadmill, because otherwise what ends up happening is if I start doing like my raid, if I do the basic raids, and then all of a sudden it's like if I do like the raids and then all of a sudden it's like I finish my gear and I don't have to gear up anything else, then it becomes, why am I doing these raids again? Why am I doing these dailies? I've already maxed out. But then, you know, at the same point in time, I feel like they're gating, they're gonna the main problem with something like that is that it is definitely a gate thing. You're going to legitimately gate everybody's progress in a way. And granted, I am not the target. I don't do savage raids or anything like that, so I'm just worried about whether or not, oh my god, look at that motherfucker.
Work a little harder.
Okay, Avalanche, shush. I'm not tanking, so like, fuck you. You know, the tank gets the you know, pull.
Two number 9, a number 9 large, a number 6 extra dip, a number 7, 2 number 45s, 1 with cheese, and a large soda.
Look, he's a strong fat, okay? Ah, fuck you. Oh. Okay, now I can do it. Wait, I'm not targeting him anymore. Fuck. But yeah, it's like, you know, treadmills. Gear treadmills exist for a reason, right? Like, they had to sit back and make the main story quest dungeons, like, be worth it for both leveling and, like, gearing, like with the tombstones, to get people to do them, so that the queues would be not terrible. And it just comes down to my fear of like, okay, how you know, you understand the reasons why you made certain changes in the first place. And odds are it's going to be other fan fests before we actually get an idea of like, huh? What did I get? Oh, I got the bracelet of defending. Oh, that does remind me. There was more loot. You know what? Fine. I forgot to do those. I should really do those. Aiming, pass, aim. You think these bosses will level up to gain this ability? Do you think they're born with them as level 1 babies? I think, well, no, they level up. Like these, like the specifics about Void Scent are like they legitimately consume other Void Scent to gain more power. So they leveled up. They leveled up. So these guys, these are machines. So they're born with it. No! Okay. Are you a Void Scent? No. Valid question, you're a 4 or 5. I mean, true. It's really funny as I sit back and say, like, you know, as much as I'll admit to it, like, and cop to it, like, I don't have any art or you do any artwork with, like, me doing that act. I just use other things. I have a different character for that. Oh, there's a coffer. Read the bracelet. Oh, wait, I already did that. We got a necklace. So much to draw. No. No. Oh no. Okay. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, no, no. That Mike's the Claws the Big gets a lot of mileage out of me. Just because of, like, what it is. Like, yeah.
The Warrior of Light consumes other shards of self to gain strength. The Alexandrian consume souls. Wait, I just realized, the Alexandrians consuming souls for power are worse morally than the Voidsent consuming souls. Wow.
At very least, the whole point of the Voidsent consuming souls is that, like, nobody can die. And so the souls kind of live on, and so, like, if you destroy the body, like, the souls, like, scatter. Unlike consuming souls within Alexandria, where it just is just not that. It's like a society doing it like that makes sense versus a different society that that does it because, like, they don't understand fucking how their funny little whoops, hold on, I'm not gonna look. Now, like, if you consume a Lich's soul, it probably tastes dusty, but now you can't. I can't look at what you've written and play the video game in a way. Wait. Oh, shit. Yeah, I got fucked by that. Okay. Okay. Do I run? Huh? Oh. Okay, I did something correctly? I'm not sure. Oh, I guess it... Yeah, the play symbol means that you run around. Run around the room. Around the room. Run around the room. Around the room. Run around the room. Okay, so... Okay, so these are puppets. Run around the room. Around the room. Run around the room. Shit. I dodged right into it. Let me make sure I'm correct. Okay. Literally run around the room. Around the room. Run around the room. Around the room. Okay. Your fault for looking. Soul is probably tastes sensitive, but I don't think there's an evil line act. It's definitely chaotic, but not necessarily evil. True. Maiming. Well, okay, let me look at how it looks. I'm not needing it. I'm just greeting it for the look.
I think that's all of them.
We need but seal the fissure to prevent further ingress.
It's over. I can only imagine the extent of the damage were it not for your aid. On behalf of the Garlean community, I thank you for all you've done for my people, for my home.
I shall close the fissure post-haste.
Yeah, I know. You just keep on doing nothing right this second.
If you do that, I will be trapped here.
You risked your life in vanquishing the creature. Would you at least
Come
let
in,
me
Yurianja.
bear the burden of
Pretend that hole is
deciding
mean
its
Brida
fate?
and stick your dick in it already.
You want to go back to the void? Your kind have entered this realm before, some seeking death that they might rejoin the life stream. But you would choose that dark, deathless place?
The wind is fresh and pure, untouched by darkness. Perhaps it won't be a blessing to meet my end in such a place. But I cannot yet bear to part with the void. If only the winds would blow there as they do here. I long to return, to see my home unsullied, as it once was.
We know that pain all too well. If that is your wish, you must forsake this aggression. Go back to the void and devote yourself to its restoration. I have a friend, Zero, who hails from your home. She and her companions strive to bring light into the void from another world blighted with imbalance. I hear their efforts have already met with some success. One day.
Okay, but like, why did they
the
come
darkness from the
and
void,
out
I'm
here
sure
to
of
begin
it.
with?
His form is imbued with the will of all those I consumed. We shall return to our world and seek out this Zero. Then we shall see if there is truth in your words.
She won't disappoint you. That much I guarantee.
Still, I don't understand like why they came through in the first place.
Darkness, darkness, darkness,
Bravo.
darkness,
I
the
think
grand
Zero
darkness,
will approve.
darkness, darkness, Kingdom Hearts.
I'm
Is
hot.
light.
Oh,
My home is shithole,
I-
but it is my shithole. What was I playing or watching oh yeah, we were
Indeed,
that was last week as
truly
well.
heartening to see.
When with the Milala.
Understanding begets fellowship, right?
It's like, we
thought
just
I
had
liked
this
Billy by
recently as
example.
well with a game, and it's like, oh yeah, it's the exact same game.
Well then, shall we head back?
Wasn't there a trial? Reports have been trickling in by accounts. The Ilzabard contingent was successful in containing the threat. For voice since attack such numbers that we're finding on our feet, I dare imagine the consequences had you not provided much timely aid. On behalf of my comrades, thank you. Okay, so that's 2. With the plot, I'm assuming the man is from the Elden Ring universe
Ilzabard
giving fingers on his
contingent
face.
has
He
contained
is
the
at
threat on their
Detroit.
front. Things appear to be under control for the time being. Though it remains unclear
I'm not
why the
going to
fissures
explain
opened up
it.
in the first place.
Fuck it.
According to Tataru, similar ruptures are occurring across the star.
One thing is clear, however. The phenomenon is not without pattern. The tendency for fissures to emerge is pronounced in regions deeply connected to the void. Places where the barrier between the two worlds is at its thinnest.
I fear there may be a place in far greater peril than Garlemald.
The
Though
moon.
it hath since been sealed, you will recall there is a great void gate that we ourselves had cause to open. A gate which was instrumental in our bid to reunite Vritra with his sister and put an end to Golbez's dark plot.
Oh gods. The moon.
With our attention fixed upon planar fissures, I failed to consider this vulnerability. All other paths unto the void are but pinpricks in the veil compared to that great lunar rift. And that rift might be yawning open as we speak. We'd better hurry. Let us make for Bestway's burrow. I dare say the Loporrits are well aware of current events.
We ought to have Kryl join us once she finishes tending to the wounded. I shall likewise contact Y'shtola. Her knowledge of the moon's void gate is second to none.
A number of my fellow Garleans now call Mare Lamentorum home. Alphino, Alize, please see they come to no harm.
We'll be back before you know it.
A quick word, if you will. I'm not sure whether you'll run into Zero during the course of all this, but if you do, would you give this to her?
A bagged
Emergency
lunch.
rations, in case of a protracted battle. Can't imagine she's eating all that well in the void. She likes dumplings.
Kingdom Hearts no more shit. Kind of. Quick rundown is, oh, we're just there. I didn't think the cutscene would just keep on.
State. I presume the Loporrits too are beset with void scent.
Oh, what sweet relief it is to see you all. Yes, void scent. And lots of them. They suddenly came pouring forth from the crater.
I had dearly hoped to find my worries unfounded.
For some unknown reason, the Void Gate seems to have partially opened. Living Ray dashed off to activate the brands and halt the Fiend's invasion. But she hasn't come back, and we've since lost contact.
I suggest we make for the brands without delay.
Once I don't agree to deliver customers. This is just another shape like mine, bro. Did you just belong to? Yeah, I guess the quickest rundown is planet was divided into 14 different dimensions. One of them was flooded with darkness. That became the void. Living Ray Southwest, okay. Had a lot of slaughter bots. Never go fly like a witch. Fucking motorcycle, man. Fucking technology. Flying motorcycle. On the moon. The problem with that tour is like this game is very bad about giving us a timeline and a time frame. They've already mentioned that light is being sent over in the previous two cutscenes ago. I'm just assuming that the void is collapsing into the source.
Likewise plagued with void scent. If only we'd prioritized further development of the void scent slaughter bots, we could have stemmed the tide ourselves. Oh, what a tremendous demonstration that would have been. Irrefutable proof that I was mankind's staunchest ally and the greatest Loporrit to ever live.
No, the Lalafels are better to punt. They have more rounded shape. You kick them and like it's mostly like weird jiggly fat. So it helps.
Should any more void scent emerge from the gate, they ought to be confined to the crater. Unless, of course, the void gate begins to expand of its own accord, or some gargantuan monstrosity tries to barge through, I don't foresee any major problems.
You just said the lines in which is going to happen next. Yeah, there it goes.
Oh, nope. We're doomed.
The thing, it happened. The thing happened.
There you are.
I left the data in Shale's capable hands and teleported here as soon as I heard. And ere you ask, I made sure to bring the key with me.
just in case.
Then the real threat yet awaits us.
'Tis Golbez's domain beyond the Void Gate. I wonder how he and Zero are faring.
You ask, slap Zavas nuts.
I mean, we did see like 1 or 2 Void Scent in like a side content, but the thing about that is they don't like talking about side content. Because what if a person didn't do the side content?
By the 12.
Then we were sent to the void. Because the or the 13th, sorry. Oh, that happens in this patch.
The heck is your way!
Let them come.
Dix!
Hello, T. Azim created Lalafell. Azim's probably somehow gave the crystal to the Lalafell at certain point. Which makes sense as to like, oh, why does the crystal like seem to, or why does the key seem to go to random points in time? Because it's going to a place that is needed, because that's Azim. Azim's entire thing is legitimately, I'm going around the world and helping people. So it only makes sense that they probably made something that allows them to do that. Hey, Golbez. Oh wait, it's not even Golbez. Technically.
What are you doing
here?
here?
I really like the play. Her being, but she has to be Cecil. So I get to beat the Reaper.
Trust you to state the obvious. May as well make yourself useful. The gate's sheer size appears to have made it a tempting target.
Enuo, A dread void scent risen from the benighted depths of the ocean. They kept to the confines of their domain while Zeromus endured. No longer, it would seem. And once they had discovered a path to the Red Moon, they wasted no time in making the journey.
Leave the void scent nearby to us. You take care of NOO. Facing this many foes calls for a more familiar approach.
Oh, okay, so she can job change. People knew. Yes.
Void scent can change their form at will. Both light and darkness are mine to wield. Besides, what
I feel
better
like they
purge
listened to the
darkness from
pants
the
moment.
void than darkness itself.
It's like, yeah, we get it. She's at very least, it's like this one makes it a little bit more understanding than just like the whole fucking the place golden place, living memory.
Who dares face me? A mere mortal.
You know, it was an optional super boss in Final Fantasy V.
Hast thou come in search of
I don't think I did them, even during my streams.
I fight to end this world without end.
Unless they were only in like the GBA ones.
Before me shall fall.
Hey, this is the music from not Golbez, XIV, Neo XIV, which has been in the game for like since the XIV fight, because okay, when I do this. Okay, make sure I take away this. Yeah. Wait, did they finally like change it so I don't do that? Introduce and final. Yeah, okay, then I would never have done him. Because the remasters on Pixel remasters from Adele on Steam, those are based upon the original versions. But yeah, this song has been in the game since like Stormblood. The only way you can hear it is if you go and fight Savage XDeath. And then isn't it like a few weeks, like a month or so, Like, hey, the new ultimate is going to be fucking Kefka. And I'm kind of curious as to what they actually do. Like, I would never go through it because I just don't have the patience to do like actual raids, real progression, or any of that shit. But I would like to see what they do, because those are always kind of fun to watch.
Hey, work a little harder.
Can't. People doing things.
All who dare oppose me shall quake before the silken dark. The Void's power is mine to wield. Perish. Be still.
Phil.
Accept your downfall.
Oh. Oh, both healers are dead. We're dead. We have to restart. Oh, wait, no, never mind.
Doth the yawning rift not tempt you? The void consumes. Naught will endure. Neither past nor future. Only one certainty.
Oh.
I breathe the darkness. Let the light guide you.
You must break free.
I think I like... Well, we haven't finished the entire fight yet. I might like Doomtrail a little bit more, just because of like what you're doing during Doomtrail.
The underlings are no more. Now to deal with NOO.
Life and death rendered meaningless.
Light, protect us.
I will not yield my domain! Such is the power of the Void.
I feel like we need to stay back behind here. Wait, he's expelling it. Okay, so...
The Void shall never cease to be. My power is absolute.
All of the DPS besides myself are dead.
The Void's power is mine.
I don't know
wield.
why I'm the one alive, but I am the one alive.
Thus did all boundaries cease to be.
Here.
Behold the truth of
Fuck,
this
I fucked up.
Accept your downfall.
If I just... All I have to do is edge it. Okay, so it's going to go through there and then out that way.
Doth the yawning rift not tempt you? Be still.
I got hit by the end. Fuck. I shouldn't have just gone all the way around like an idiot.
Perish.
What am I doing? I got stupid right there.
Doth the yawning rift not tempt you?
I want to be right about here. Cool.
Be still.
Oh, both healers are dead again.
Thus did all boundaries cease to be.
Oh. It's now time for Will the Tanks Be Tanks? It's the favorite. Will the tanks be tanks? The tanks are being tanks.
The Void's power is mine to wield.
Look, even I would try.
Perish.
Like, they can do it. It's just gonna take 4 minutes. How's everybody? How's everybody?
Behold the truth of this world.
And of course, because normally there's no rage timer.
Accept your downfall.
Oh, this is funny because now it's just gonna, they're just gonna switch. Yeah, you should switch directions. Wait. Okay, no, they've gotten it. Except not really. Oh, wait.
Doth the yawning rift.
Okay, we got 7%. Let's see how fucking strange this gets. Anyways, yeah, we got 7% now. Oh, no. He's fucked up. He fucked up too much. He fucked up too much. No, he's dead. They could have had it if, like, they... Oh, wait. Bro might actually have... Wait, never mind. He needs to get some more HP.
Doth the yawning rift not tempt you? Be still.
You know what? Oh, wait, there it is. Is that... No, nope. Okay, wait, hold on. No, you're going the wrong way. Wait. Can they do... No, this is it, right? Oh, no. Now it's here. Wow, 3%. We're now at the rip moment. Yeah, damn. If the other tank didn't die... If the other tank didn't die, I felt like that would have been it. That was an extra 3 minutes.
All who dare oppose me shall quake before the silken dark.
Hopefully now the healers can actually do something.
Perish. Be still.
Like, here's the thing, I don't mind if, like, a tank, like, actually tries to, you know, beat the fight. But, like, I'm gonna be honest, you kind of need to be at a lower percentage, and you kind of need to be, like, very good and not choke. Because I do that. Like, I mean, okay, both, like, you know, try to finish a fight and not choke, but, don't do it like that. Don't pull them through. You need... These motherfuckers need to fight better. Like, don't pull him through the boss. Oh, Lord. You know, sometimes I wonder whether or not I should actually go back to, like, WoW rating. Like, just fucking do it. Because every now and then I just watch as, like, a 14 player, like, fucks up a mechanic that isn't terribly hard. And okay, I pot kettle black, you know, blah 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 blah. But there's a part of me that looks at like cars in like Burning Crusade and just goes, you know, I don't think anybody can fuck up like Midnight. Or like, or well, I guess technically he's called the Hordes.
The void consumes. Naught will endure. Neither past nor future. Only one certainty.
You know, now when I think about it, the only reason why Doom Train probably took less time is because like people had like 4 months of Doom Train. Like, yeah, that was easy. This is day 1 of this. It's kind of why I didn't do 7.3s. Hello, Yoshi. Oh, he's raiding with friends. No, I'm not raiding with friends. I'm raiding with like randoms. I'm doing the funny the new trial for the story. I have played fucking the other Final Fantasies. I've streamed 4, 5, and 6, as well as 7.
I will not yield my domain! Such is the power of the Void.
You know what? This is enough time to do Soul Soul. Okay.
The Void shall never cease to be. My power is absolute. The Void's power is mine to wield. Thus did all boundaries cease to be. Behold the truth of this world! Accept your downfall.
Hey, what you should be doing is doing this. You know, getting them out of the way of the funny shit. and not tackling him through the bus. Okay.
Doth the yawning rift not tempt you?
Here.
Be still.
To be right. You know, I kind of realized that you don't get, you know what? Hey, I'm ready.
Perish.
I will. Funny. Funny.
They must be sealed away.
Funny. I'm going to pick the Dark Knight that made this entire group last like 5 minutes longer.
I'm glad you came. We would have struggled to face Enuo alone. I presume you journeyed here to prevent more Void Scent from passing through the gate.
With Enuo defeated, there are none left in this realm who pose a serious threat. I dare say the problem is resolved.
Again. The last voice had been emerging from the fissure across the source.
Cause for alarm indeed. Tell us more. So the breach wasn't limited to the Void Gate. For better or worse, precious little has changed in the 13th since the Romus fell. Have you noticed anything unusual?
I know not the reason events have unfolded this way, but there is, perhaps, an explanation as to why the Void Gate and the fissures opened. Here, in my domain, even the slightest change is keenly felt. When the gate opened, I sensed not the workings of some external force. Rather, it felt as if the barrier between our worlds was weakening naturally, moment by moment, until the two came to meet.
And you think this weakening could be happening elsewhere?
'Tis a possibility.
What of Radzit Han and Garlemald?
I'm not sure about Bronson. Oh wait, I have a bagged lunch.
Eulus took mercy upon the interloper. Whether Void Sent or Garlean, we all share the same longing for home. Should we meet, I will gladly offer them aid. Please tell Eulus as much.
I need to give him the bagged lunch.
Wait, how exactly did you get here? No mortal could traverse the Void Gate in its current state. And this path of yours is still there. I cannot see it.
Nor does it reveal itself to me. Perhaps the path serves only the key bearer.
So it is not a means to travel freely back and forth. A pity. I would have liked to see my friends again.
Now seems an opportune time to give Xenos the parcel Julius prepared for her. Off screen. Not in this fucking cutscene. Oh, never mind. The smell of food, is it? I recall Julius speaking of dumplings and must use Mega. Thank you for the parcel and the fond memories. They're more than enough to share with Gomez. Not that now that he forgoes the aether of others, I'm sure he appreciates the sustenance. I sometimes wonder what the void would be like if culinary traditions flourished here once more. Whether it would be suffice to break the cycle of mutual consumption. A heartening thought, if nothing else. Oh, this is the only one of these that doesn't have a little image. What? I'm not sure. I heard a Windows noise. I heard a Windows noise. I don't seem to. Everything seems to be working fine though. Until about earlier, I hadn't recalled upon the darkness in some time. In truth, I found light better fit these days. Ever since you left, we've been roaming the void in search of individuals who would join our cause. Although we returned to the Red Moon after sensing Ueno's presence, rarely do we linger in a single location. However, if the interloping you spoke of does intend to seek me out, it might be wise to return to my domain. Why don't you join us? With Ueno defeated, the source should be no immediate danger. Good, we'll wait for you by the crater. My teleport is situated between here and the center of the moon. I used it to travel to Sunton in days long past, though I seldom need once my generals were in place. Igorov herself crafted a device I may lay low the Servant of Light. Ironic that we now use it to restore the light to the void. Ew. Ah, forget my idle reminiscence. It made our descent. There was not always so many who live here now have chosen to do so because they support the cause. Indeed, if our numbers continue to grow, it might require more territory. Thankfully, we were able to harness the residual aether from Barbaricia's domain. The reserves will enable me to expand mines as far as needs arise. Right, we're better prepared for potential guests. Join me in my boat when you're ready. There are many in this domain who still fear me. I shall remain here to avoid needless provocation. Okay, this is gonna... Imagine first these, the transmitters we use to receive light from the first. If memory serves, they work by channeling existent ether into the, left in the wake of the flood into the crystal tower. Using tower cross rift travel capabilities, light is then conveyed until the 13th into these devices. I have mind to use them now, but they need to be set in an elevated location. Your system would be greatly appreciated. Time for busy work. Wait, can I not get up there from here? Nope. Shit. Ship. Trojan manservant.
Upon activation, these transmitters will shine with light from beyond, sent courtesy of our ever-watchful friends. They will serve as beacons in the dark for those that would seek me out.
I did not expect to see you here.
I am Zero, and this is my domain. 'Tis a safe haven for those who abhor conflict. Among those gathered here, many aspire to restore this world to how it once was.
Such a thing is possible.
Indeed. Though how long the endeavor will take, I cannot say. But for those of us abandoned by death
it will take as long as it will take for them to make a void expansion.
It spoke true. However long it takes to restore our world, you shall have my aid.
And you shall have mine.
It seems that Julie's intervention helped forge a new bond. Thank you for bringing word to me. I gather you'll head home sooner than later? Oh, yeah, sure. Don't care. Starting light, good sir. I mean, the light is like absence of ether in a way, stagnation.
Would you deliver a message to Euless for me? Tell him that we're making progress towards rebuilding
Stasis,
our home.
as they say.
And I hope that he is too.
Enuo's Memoria will be safe here. The crystal containing Zeromus has been passed on to our allies in the First. If Enuo's Memoria might serve them in restoring their world, we shall likewise consider its transfer.
How much simpler it would be to aid one another in our respective fights, were it not for these boundaries between us. Safe travels, my friend. We take comfort in the knowledge that you're out there fighting too, wherever you may be.
Are they freaking out? No. They're just curious.
No luck, I'm afraid. It appears she's not in Mare Lamentorum.
And back.
Wait. Is that...
Gods, you had us worried. You suddenly disappeared. We didn't know what to think.
I went to the void. Had a fun little vacay.
Shortly after you vanished, the Void-sent incursion abruptly ended. We surmised you had a hand in that, but never did it cross our minds that you were fighting alongside Zero and Golbez.
This golden path you said you traversed wasn't visible to us either. Nor did we hear a voice. Ethos. Might this be the key's true name?
While many mysteries remain, for now, I am glad to learn the state of affairs in the 13th. Golbez's suspicion that the barrier twixt worlds has begun to weaken. 'Twould certainly explain the surge in fissures manifesting in the source.
Yet what could be behind such a phenomenon? And who might you be? Not her Void-sent, I'd wager.
Greetings.
I am Helmarut of the Asians.
It's like, well, hey, not gonna trick you.
We are your sworn foes, I know. But on this occasion, will you not put away your arms?
Last time we did that, we had to fight. She's Aerith. We're just confirming that she's Aerith. Fuck it.
I wish only to talk.
Also, she's the fucking aura in the cinematic that's praying.
Thank you for affording me a chance. Bereft of the Unsundered, we were under the impression you and yours no longer had cause to continue your activities. That you should reveal yourself at this juncture. I assume you are the one who bestowed Calyx with the knowledge of summoning and the reflections. Yes, that is correct.
Here he is.
Was it necessary to reveal my present form as well?
Calyx. So he succeeded in transferring his memories after all.
He's a stuffed animal.
Be at ease. Even were I to occupy a combat-oriented vessel, I would not have the ability to defeat you. You destroyed my plan, my life's work. I have naught to replace it, nor will I ever regain what I once had.
If you wish to speak, Helmarut, will you not tell us what it is that you hope to accomplish?
Oh, Schnitzel.
As you know, our star Aetheris was sundered into 4 and 10 shards in the time of the Ancients. As the will of the star, Hydaelyn perpetuated this unnatural division for millennia. And in the wake of her passing, nature has begun to reassert itself. As a wound knits itself together, the star seeks to become whole once more. Yes, it seeks to rejoin with all of its shards. Unlike the one we Asians attempted to orchestrate, however, the star's rejoining will afford mankind no special treatment. All life and matter will be condensed into a single whole and remade for a new beginning. A complete rebirth. Aetheris will return to the way it once was. Hundreds of millions of years past. To a quiet and peaceful time. Long before the light of mankind was kindled.
Supposing for a moment we believe you, how can you possibly know all this?
It is an inevitability that I have foreseen since time immemorial. A future that awaits should creation be freed from the influence of Hydaelyn and Zodiac. The star is tolerant to life. It holds no grudges, and neither rages nor weeps for being sundered. Yet by the same token, it is indifferent to life's survival. No amount of devastation and death can compel it to stop the wheels of creation from turning. The earth shakes, and mountains spew fire. Floods wash away the fruits of labor, and icy winds freeze and starve. Countless perish as nature runs its course. So many seeds of life have already been lost, yet in spite of this, people continue to believe that the morrow will come. But it will not. For nothing lies beyond the solstice, when all creation is reunited. When that day comes, every last trace of mankind shall be erased. I cherish man's journey. Despite losing his innocence and being made to live with suffering, he has forged ever onward. Strong, even as he is weak, his is a proud tale in the history of the star. It would be a shame for that tale to end. For all to wither and die, when some might yet survive. Would you not agree?
If a natural rejoining doth lead unto the solstice, then thine intent is to preemptively rejoin the worlds.
You know, do the thing that we've been doing.
Correct. It was for this very purpose that Halmarut recruited suitable collaborators from the Reflections. Individuals like me, who would willingly doom another world in order to fulfill their aspirations. The Winterers, we are called. And if you and yours seek to protect all life, then sooner or later you shall have to contend with us.
Even if everything you claim is true, what you've done, Calyx, it's unforgivable!
I do not ask that you be pragmatic, nor do I seek your approval. Given your familiarity with other reflections, 'tis only natural that you are averse to our methods. But there is one irrefutable fact that you must understand. Should we take no action at all, the solstice will come, and no one will be left alive. No one. Of course, should it serve to satisfy your ambition, you are welcome to deal with the Reflections as you deem fit. Like the pariah and wanderer who satisfied his own when he brought the star to the brink of ruin to face you.
Sure, give me Xenos' scythe. I guess that's the entire... Okay, it's like a figment. It's like, become like Xenos. Why are we here? One moment you're standing before me, and the next you vanish in thin air. Thanks to you, y'all voids have been eradicated. The Kane seemed to notice that none of you share my enthusiasm. Is something wrong? The star seeks to become whole, but that's preposterous. As far as I'm aware, Heidelin made no mention of natural rejoining. I'll have to consult the records to be certain, but not before thanking you. Yeah, it kind of seems like an oversight for Vanad to be like, oh, if I ever die, well, I guess it's like, well, they'll handle it. They'll be able to handle it. Vanad thinks certainly like that you'll be able to handle it. I won't mention that like the world will naturally rejoin, and maybe the solution would be probably to make another Heidelin and then have them, you know, continue. But then like the issue would be everything that would follow. It's great. It'll be fine. The implication of Solstice and Winter's schemes is, as well as our approach moving forward, take time to consider. That I believe we should gather and speak in person, and by we mean our fellow Scions. Rising Stones. Back to the Rising Stones. I mean, it's not the Waking Sands, but you know. Hey, you know, I was like, it's really funny because I thought, like, I think I even said this earlier, that I think the next expansion is going to be the 7/10 expansion, and just having the character that is like, oh yeah, I'm literally like nature, and I'm going to do the thing that's like nature, you know, like Aerith. I feel like, yeah, you're Aerith. You're the Aerith stand-in. Tataru, speaking of whom, great many comrades on the route. Let's wait for them a little longer.
Long it hath been since last we gathered here.
How long, though? Can you say how long?
Though our order's dissolution was indeed in name only. Thereafter, we did largely operate independent of one another. All of which is to say, full glad am I to stand in such esteemed company once more.
I mean, it kind of, but also, like, you also kind of help.
Apologies for our delay.
Oh, hey, it's the characters that we actually haven't seen. You know, the people who are just, like, in the background and, by and large, don't matter. Like Hori Boulder.
Reporting for duty, as bid.
This is everyone that we could round up on short notice. The others are still en route. Estinian alone we weren't able to make contact with, but we're working on it.
Estinian's probably behind the
no doubt his
the
link file
cupboards.
is buried at the bottom of his bag.
Knowing him, he'll turn up when we least expect it.
Now, as much as I'd like to savor our reunion, Tataru tells us there have been developments. Will you apprise us of the details?
We're summarizing the entirety of Dawntrail.
The Winterers and the Solstice.
The veracity of Halmarut's claims remains unclear. Yet it cannot be denied that, in his bid to convert the living into endless, Calyx was privy to knowledge of the reflections and more.
And the Winterers are formed of others, like him.
In light of the recent Void Sense incursions, I believe it would be wise to treat the Solstice as a genuine threat. The problem is how to deal with it.
Create a new Heidelin! Come on, one of you dumb motherfuckers should say
The
it.
source and the reflections are home to irreplaceable life. I would protect them all if I could. But if doing so means ushering in complete annihilation, then what can we possibly do? I wonder, was Heidelin aware of the solstice?
Maybe we can ask her. Let's go into the live stream and ask her.
Given that we had no knowledge of it when you journeyed to Elpis, you couldn't have warned Venar. So it is entirely possible she was unaware. But in the course of sustaining the Sundered Star, she may have glimpsed this eventuality.
I don't think... I think she knew she chose to trust in us. She's just that way.
So
I mean, she had contingency plans.
Well.
At very least, she had the contingency plan to save any life from the source,
make.
at least.
Whichever it may be, it is we who must find the answer. We who live in the here and now.
Perhaps we could take a recess? Oh, I dare say everyone could use a rest.
Indeed. We have ample food for thought, and it would be good to catch each other up.
Ere I forget, hereon, I believe you should keep the key, Ethos, in your possession. After all, it seems that is one mystery I am not destined to unravel.
But, you know, just send me to the first one every now and then. Just send me to the... It's my no needs assistance. Solstice now paramount. After all, anything we do to protect the world is to keep Garlean safe. Bright future, Galdemald. Must meantime prepare a little letter for Julius in the community. Speak with Hoary Boulder. Colton item mainly Corvus to monitor the situation across the Guardians and the Corvusi. Though settlements moved settled in time, the region settled, that we were able to return. Understand the Garland community has great strides in improving relationship with other people here, and I feel a renewed resolve. Then you perhaps hear more about the Garleans' accomplishments from me and the twins. Okay, what about you, Yashtola? Just about you guy, Clements, your studies have been most productive. Master fundamental purpose of Charlene astrology. At one point I considered exploring other healing arts by persevere. Battlefield these days, yada. Haven't changed in the slightest. People that I just don't remember. After enjoying, I don't know, we decided to spend some time with Dawntrail. Never had a chance to visit during the Riding Successions. We journeyed east to Lorenza Hetta before heading up the coast to the frigid northern reaches, where they revered a storied beast of the sea, and the excursion only served to reinforce just how diverse Dural was. We also met with the Waliki. You know, the people that we should have actually met during the expansion, but we didn't. Though we had not the time to study their art's length, we'll be privy to several intriguing demonstrations. With that we could be indulged in our curiosity further and travel to more distant lands, for better or for worse. Pragmatism tempered our wanderlust. I have plenty to see on the continent, so I'd very much like to return. You know, all the content that we should have seen. If you actually did an expansion about Dural, instead of half an expansion of Dural and half the expansion about the 9th. Aenor and I trained in Gridania, voiced and attacked Twellsworth, fend them off with the help of twin adders. An invasion already been terrorist across the star, realized gravity's situation, and we'll send a report to the other Scions. Okay, circumstances might keep a party remain bound by a common purpose. Alright. Seems everyone has much more to discuss with one another. How long due for proper break? Okay, so we have to have our stinger into 0.56. So I won't be coming back to the story until well into fucking September. Moon.
Of course, should it serve to satisfy your ambition, you are welcome to deal with the reflections as you deem fit. Like the pariah and wanderer who satisfied his own when he brought the star to the brink of ruin to face you.
I detest evenings such as this. Too bright, too stimulating. The mind distracted by the inconsequential.
Can I punch you?
You needn't be so wary. I merely come to offer information before my departure. Halmarut and I will soon cross the rift to observe the enactment of another Winter's plan. Our destination is the 4th. A world locked in ice, whose lands are blanketed in thick clouds. In order to survive, man has fled to the skies, using great magics to establish new civilizations.
Why tell me where you're going?
I have my own designs I would see realized. Nothing more. Believe me or don't, as you like. For all I know, you lack the means to follow us anyway.
He knows.
What Halmarut said to you earlier. She suggested that dealing with the reflections might satisfy your ambition. But is that truly so? You have seen battles beyond counting, have defeated even the fear of death. Is there some conclusion that you seek, no matter the cost? I I will share with you a truth. We Winterers each have an ambition that we wish to fulfill. To that end, we may share information with one another, but we do not necessarily share the same beliefs. Just as you and yours decried my actions, I find those of my fellows objectionable. Be that as it may, it is the culmination of our lives' works that we would bring to the world, fruits born of undying devotion, daring aspiration, and unwavering ideals. No matter how we are reviled, no matter what we must steal, our actions will be vindicated by those who abide in the future we create. In your benevolence, you may seek to save everything and everyone. But once all is consequently consigned to oblivion, your noble deeds will amount to nothing more than folly. For no living soul shall remain to judge them.
If Shattered Stars are doomed to mend, how turns the key to Winter's End? Alright. So now I have to wait like 4 months for like the next like 5 quests. I'm not gonna do a stream of like the raids. I will try to find time in the next month while I'm doing Xenoblade to do both sets of raids that I need to do, those stories. But the way everything is sounding, I mean, it was kind of obvious when you get into like, oh yeah, we're going to be very mum about, like, we don't want to spoil what's happening in 7.5, and it's like you can kind of tell what the point was going to be, and you kind of they should have timed this patch right before FanFest, because then at least they could say a little more stuff. Just a little bit more. Because it's like, okay, it's obviously going to be, hey, the Winters as a concept are, we're going to continue the Ascian's plan, but only one of us is an Ascian. Everybody else is like immortal. Kind of. Sort of. We're going to continue this plan because it's just going to happen naturally. Because there's nothing to sustain it. Which... it kind of becomes like, what is going to be the solution to their problem that's going to happen way too fast, right? Plus, you hear the voice about uniting the star into one. Maybe it's like, oh, hey, maybe there is a way of uniting everything back into to one shard without the need for anything else. But the way it sounds like is like Halmarut herself is not going to be like, it's weird. If written poorly, she just becomes a poor man's Xenos. Or not Xenos, Emmett Selk. She could potentially just be Emmett Selk again. Just without the riz and the charm. So I feel like if given another plan, she would execute on that plan. Because it's that kind of thing of, if the whole thing with the Ascians, well, actually no, the moment that the Unsundered essentially like went away, not even Zodiac, just the Unsundered, it seemed like even the Lesia Ascians just could do whatever they wanted to. Because, what's his face? Completely did that. And her plan is, oh, it's just going to happen anyways. It's better to do control burns than it is to, you know, let the entire place burn. Which, it's understandable. I'm just wondering, like, how you can do, like, they have to find a solution to reuniting the source and everything in such a way that makes sense. But then again, the one thing that doesn't, or I kind of am sitting here looking at, you still didn't write this correctly, is why does Calyx want to continue with the plan, right? Like making the God of Death. Like, yes, there are still people on the 9th that are alive, but Alexandria exists now in the source. It exists in the source now. The game goes to long strides to go, it's in the source now. Why do you have to make a God of Death? Like, your entire plan should be to transport the God of Death. Well, wait. I guess it was in living memory. Never mind. The god, the fucking what's his face? Final Fantasy IX Necrozma. Wait. Necrom? Necrom? Yeah, Necrom. I'm getting confused with like the Pokemon. I guess Necrom was technically in the 9th, but and could have you know, done the things in the 9th. So I guess that's like was his entire plan, was to have Necrom like wreak havoc in the 9th, like kill them all, and then somehow like transport, like do the lightning rejoining at some point. So maybe that was the whole entire point. No, I'm wrong, because like if Necrom was in the fucking 9th anyways, because he was on the server and everything, then it's fine. I'm misremembering things. Build the God of Death, kill everybody in the 9th, rejoin the 9th with the source. Winter's plan gets to continue. I just think they just had to use the people of Alexandria to make a God of Death. Okay, so like I'm being stupid. Like I verbalized the thing. Necron was the final. Yeah, Necron was the cloud of the darkness of his shard. That's not how that works, though. So cloud of darkness in of herself is like the implication, I guess, is if joined properly, you know, everything will be fine. The only issue will be the 13th, and I guess we get our thing of we're eventually going to have to solve the 13th. The only problem I have, I think, is if this is your saga, and like the very first thing we do in the technically second game in the saga, like they basically said we're well into this saga when they were at FanFest, and to a large degree, yeah, the saga I feel like really truly takes off towards the end of Dawntrail, when it's like Alexandria comes down, you have the key, you have us dealing with the key, you have us dealing with like Alexandria's problems and like stopping Calyx. We have the establishment of the Winterers, we have all of this stuff. You know, the reason why preservation exists is to hurry everything into this next thing. And I'm assuming that like the whole point of like the interdimensional key was for preservation was if we can figure out a way to save everybody and send them to like the source, it would be great. But we couldn't figure it out. So like I'm trying to sit back and see if I can poke a hole into something, and anytime I do, I kind of realize that it's not really a hole. Unlike, you know, the first part of Dawntrail where I can poke a hole and then wiggle my finger around and kind of poke through the other side and really kind of just go, why is this here? Why are we doing? But I'm just kind of hoping that, like, I'm wondering how, like, the only fear that I have going into like where the story might be going is I feel like and they kind of alluded to this, the solution 14. I mean, let me see. I want to double check some. Oh man. Let me look at the like a shitty wiki. Let me look at a wiki. We've been to the first. We've solved its problem, but not really. We've been to the 9th. We've been to the 13th, and there's been 7 rejoinings. So it's the 4th, the 8th, and the 11th are the ones that we have not seen. Which the 4th gets to be the next one. So I'm kind of wondering whether or not they have enough for 2 expansions, or even 3 expansions, with how they're doing this. It could be we solve the problem in the 4th, we rejoin it, and then we go and we just in patches rejoin the 1st and the 13th, or do whatever the solution, which only leaves the 8th and the 11th, which kind of becomes like, how do we just have an entire expansion of dealing with them? Do we have patches where we rejoin well, actually we also have to rejoin the 9th as well. So the 9th, the 1st, and the 13th. So do we do like 2 more expansions with the 8th and the 11th? And then we're basically doing the same thing again with like our entire thing. What would be the end game with this? Because to me, like, I can even see the story at the end of Evercold, where you finally figure out a solution. Halamurt is on board with it. Maybe Calyx is on board with it. But whoever is in charge, or whoever is the Winterer of the 4th, is like, nope, we're going to do this. Like, I can see that happening. Because, like, there is nothing about Halamurt that feels very... There's nothing about her that feels disingenuous. Like, Emmett Selk is a person that's giving you the chance, and the moment you fail, because, you know, the moment you're trying to prove yourself worthy, you know, he stands in your way. This character doesn't feel like that. If you write this wrong and make her do the Emmett Selk thing, you're just doing it wrong. But then I kind of wonder whether or not, like, do you do the exact same thing for the 8th and the 11th? Like, you can do patches for the other 3 shards that we've seen and to integrate them. But for the 8th and the 11th, do you sit back and go do them again? Because, like, one of the reasons why Stormblood is the way it is because they didn't want to have 2 expansions with Garleans as the main enemy, so they condensed the storyline into 1 expansion, where it's like, okay, we deal with the Garleans in Alamigo, but we also do it in Othard, right? Yeah, Othard. We deal them with Othard as well. So they, like, well, we don't want to have Alamigo, then Othard, then Shadowbringers. We'll do them at the exact same time. With this one, I feel like it was kind of, with Dawntrail as a whole, I feel like this, the thing was, we'll have an expansion with Turiolom, and we'll have a more grounded expansion. But then I think partway in pre-planning, they went, I don't think people will like it if we just have this as the ending. We need to get that jump start on the saga that we're about to head into. We can't have a full-on filler expansion. So that's why they shoved in the 9th. Because, you know, the entire 9th is the last 3 levels of the main scenario quest. And it feels like they had to slam in so much lore that if it was the expansion all of its own, it wouldn't feel like as fucked up, and you could do exploration, you can find out about things, you could have like those moral quandaries about the regulators that just don't happen within the main scenario quest, and that the only time that it actually happens in the main or in the game is technically the raid content, which I still haven't finished. But yeah, let's see. 2nd has been done, the 3rd has been done, the 5th, the 6th, the 7th, the 10th, and the 12th. Leaving the 1st, the 4th, which we're about to go to. The 1st we've already gone to. Which, yeah, the 4th, the 8th, the 9th, and the 11th. And the 13th. So yeah, I guess that's just kind of where I'm sitting at right this second. I'm curious. I'm still going to say this is this is going to be the Final Fantasy VII expansion, which like is 100% them hitting the glass. It feels like it's 100% them hitting the glass because like, what's the one that everybody likes? 7. What's the one that everybody's clamoring for? 7. And I think I said it on Twitter, Twitter. when I was watching this is like all these places had Nordic architecture. It's very reminiscent of like Nord stuff. They show a city and I go, that city's Midgard. The reason why they're not saying names is because that city's name is Midgard. They can't say the names. We can see the architecture. And now I look at Halmarith and go, yeah, you're kind of like Aerith, aren't you? You're going to be the games like Aerith. Yeah, I'm repeating myself in circles. Tomodachi Life for the next 2 days, because starting next week is Xenoblade. I am going to be playing Xenoblade Chronicles 1 Definitive Edition for the Switch because it has extra content. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and its expansion, Torna. And hopefully Xenoblade Chronicles 3 and its expansion. Dang, over already. Look, I've given you more time because I started talking. It's been 20 minutes talking. 20 minutes talking. Let me see who is online, who I can send you. I think I saw... Oh, someone. Yeah, fuck it. I'm gonna send you a Hammy. She's gonna be playing Tomodachi Life. So enjoy her island of like misfits before my island of misfits. Anyways, thank you guys for coming out tonight. Stay safe. I'll see you guys tomorrow night for Tomodachi Life. Have a good night. Wait, come on. Right. Ah, there's Ray.